All right, so we're going to look at physical properties. There are pictures of ice water and lemonade on a picnic table. How do you know which liquid is in either picture? It's easy. Lemonade is yellow and has a tart taste. That is hard to miss. A yellow color and a tart taste are two properties of lemonade. So what are some examples of physical properties? A physical property is any characteristic of a material that can be observed or measured without changing the composition of the substances in the material. Viscosity, conductivity, malleability, hardness, melting point, boiling point, and density are examples of physical properties. Viscosity. The tendency of a liquid to keep from flowing is called its viscosity. Thick liquids such as corn syrup and honey have a high viscosity. Thin liquids such as vinegar and water have a low viscosity. Conductivity. A material's ability to allow heat to flow is called conductivity. Materials that have a high conductivity, such as metals, are called conductors. Good conductors of heat are usually also good conductors of electricity. Malleability. The ability of a solid to be hammered without shattering is malleability. Most metals, such as gold, are malleable. An ice cube or piece of glass breaks into small pieces when struck with a hammer. Solids that shatter when struck are brittle, not malleable. Hardness. One material can scratch another material if it is harder than the other material. A kitchen knife can scratch a copper sheet because stainless steel is harder than copper. The material used to sharpen the knife blade must be harder than stainless steel. Diamond is the hardest known material. The Tlingit carver is using an adze to carve a canoe from western red cedar. Red cedar is a relatively soft wood. The adze is hard. Melting and boiling points. The temperature at which a material changes state is a physical property. The temperature at which a substance changes from solid to liquid, which is melting, is its melting point. The temperature at which a substance changes from liquid to gas, or boils, is its boiling point. Which of these substances are liquids at room temperature, which is 20 degrees Celsius? So we look at this list, and we see substances, right, that are liquids at 20 degrees Celsius. So what are liquids at 20 degrees Celsius? We look at melting points. Anything below 20 degrees Celsius as a melting point could be a liquid at room temperature, if the boiling point also is greater than 20 degrees Celsius. So does 20 degrees Celsius fall between the melting and boiling point? Hydrogen, no. Nitrogen, no. Ammonia, no. But octane, yes. Water, yes. Acetic acid, yes. So octane, water, and acetic acid are liquids at room temperature. Density. The ratio of the mass of a substance to its volume is its density. Density can be used to test the purity of a substance. Silver has a density of 10.5 grams per cubic centimeter. A coin with a density of 9.9 grams per cubic centimeter is not made from silver, or it contains substances in addition to silver. How can knowing the physical properties of matter be useful? Physical properties are used to identify a material, to choose a material for a specific purpose, or to separate the substances in a mixture. A material can be identified by its properties. Decides which properties to test. Do tests on a sample of the unknown material. Compare the results with the data reported for known materials. Using properties to choose materials. Properties determine which materials are chosen for which uses. For example, shoelaces must be flexible. That is, they must be able to bend without breaking. They must also be durable. That is, they must be able to withstand repeated use. Laces and hiking boots are usually made of nylon or leather, not from wood. What processes are used to separate mixtures? Filtration and distillation are two common separation methods. You can separate hot tea from loose tea leaves by pouring the mixture through a strainer. Filtration is a process that separates materials based on the size of their particles. These students filter or sift dirt through a wire screen to locate small objects. Particles of dirt are small enough to pass through the holes, but objects such as broken bits of pottery are too large. Distillation. Sometimes all the particles in a solution are small enough to pass through a filter. Distillation is a process that separates the substances in a solution based on their boiling points. The change of water from a liquid to gas during boiling is a physical change. A physical change occurs when some of the properties of a material change, but the substances in the material remain the same. During a physical change, the size and shape of a material can change, but not the composition. Some examples include melting butter in a pan, crumpling a piece of paper, slicing a tomato. Some, but not all, physical changes can be reversed. Braiding hair is a reversible change. Cutting hair cannot be reversed.